After I made a video yesterday about the preview of the upcoming Honkai Starrail version 3.6, it would feel incomplete if I didn't make another video about gacha recommendations for the upcoming version banners. So according to the rumors currently circulating, the upcoming version 3.6 will feature 4 new banners. Those characters are Evernight, Castorice, Danheng and also Anaxa. As we know, these 4 characters have quite good kits and certainly have good value. Of course, many of us, especially new players, will be confused about which character to choose in the upcoming version, right? So, without any longer, I'm HOYOStation and we will jump right into the video. Let's do this. Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough stellar jades? Here is a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Starrail. Look no further than Lootbar. Lootbar is the most reliable top-up platform. It saves up to 23% for all orders compared with the official channel, and it provides an 80% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy pack for 30,000 stellar jades for $42, which otherwise would have costed $50, totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in the less than 3 minutes. All recharges will be done through the official channel with miHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. Before we delve deeper into each of these characters, first I will inform you about the banner schedule for the upcoming version. In the first phase, which is expected to begin on September 24th, 2025, we will welcome a character named Evernight who has the interesting ability to provide a damage increase buff to all team members who have Memo Sprites, making her a perfect fit for a remembrance team that is expected to shine even brighter in the future. As for the rerun banner, we will get Castorice, who is currently one of the meta DPS characters. This is because in addition to her very interesting animations, the damage she deals is also very high. As for the second phase, which is expected to fall on October 22nd, 2025, we will be getting Danheng a preservation character with an excellent kit. Some people even say the kit is better than Aventurine that was released in the past. His uniqueness lies in his ability to provide a shield while also boosting the attack of one team member. Besides Danheng, Anaxa is rumored to be the rerun banner in the second phase. This character is known for his ability to trigger additional skills when using skills on enemies, as well as his ability to apply weakness implants, making him a character with considerable value at the moment. Okay, now we will start with the Evernight. As we know, Evernight is a character with an ice type and a remembrance path, whose Memo Sprite is named Eevee. The main uniqueness of Evernight is that she has the same scaling and mechanics as Castorice, meaning her kit scales with maximum HP and also reduces and increasing HP on almost all of her kit. Certainly, she would be a perfect match if paired with Castorice in one team, as it can help recharge Castorice's new butt. Additionally, another interesting aspect of Evernight is that she has a skill called Day Gently Sleeps, which increases the critical damage of your teammates' Memo Sprites by 40%. This effect is certainly well suited for teams that rely on Memo Sprites as the primary source of damage, including Castorice, who uses Nether Wing as their main damage source. This skill is also capable of restoring HP to her Memo Sprite without using any skill points, allowing her to be used continuously every turn. Naturally, the high frequency of HP restoration triggers Castorice's ultimate quickly, enabling Castorice to fully utilize the effects of this skill. Not only does it provide buffs and help charge Castorice's ultimate, Evernight can also contribute significant damage thanks to her Memoria point, which will be used to cast an enhanced Memo Sprite skill called Dream Dissolving SDO. This skill deals damage based on the number of Memoria points Evernight has. The more Memoria is used, the greater the damage dealt. Some fairly easy ways to gain additional Memoria are from Castorice's skill or the effect of Hyacinth's signature light cone, which can consistently reduce the HP of all team members. Oh yeah, Evernight also has a talent that can further increase the critical damage of team member Memo Sprites if there is a character with the Remembrance Path in the team. If we use 4 Remembrance characters, all Memo Sprites will receive an additional 50% critical damage. Interestingly, if we combine this with the effect of the skill before this trace, we can get a total of 90% critical damage for all Memo Sprites in the team, making a team consisting of Castorice, Evernight, RMC, and HENG even better. So, is Evernight worth getting in the upcoming version 3.6? I give it an 8 out of 10. Although Evernight can deal damage to enemies as a sub DPS, the main ability sought after by many players is because she acts as a harmony character within the Remembrance team. Additionally, the value of this character is predicted to increase thanks to rumors circulating that in version 3.7, Siren will be able to make Evernight usable as a strong main DPS for the upcoming meta due to some of her kit. So, even if you don't or haven't yet had Castorice, I would still highly recommend taking this character, because her value is too good to pass up. A brief discussion about her signature Lancon, named to Evernight's stars. This Lancon has effects that are very suitable for Evernight or can be used as an alternative to Castorice if you don't have her signature Lancon. This Lancon will provide a very useful maximum HP boost for Evernight, and it also has an effect that can grant the user stacks called Noctis. This stack will cause all Memo Sprite attacks within the team to ignore 20% of the enemy's defense, in addition to increasing the damage dealt to the user, which can reach a total of 48%. With these numbers, this Lancon will naturally also increase Evernight's personal damage. This Lancon is not mandatory to obtain unless you want more damage output from Evernight and your teammates. It's still pretty good anyways. Next, we will move on to the next character, Castorice. As we already know, Castorice itself is a DPS character that is still in the current meta. Of course, that's understandable considering her Memo Sprite named Netherwing can deliver deadly AoE attacks and bounces for many enemies, elites, and bosses. Castorice is a very unique character in this game. To maximize the use of her kit and consistently summon Netherwing, we need support characters whose kits can regularly reduce or increase their HP. Some examples include HENG, Blade, and Evernight. On the other hand, Netherwing has an AoE damage skill called Breath Scorches the Shadow. This skill can attack all enemies continuously as long as Netherwing's HP is sufficient. If HP is insufficient, Netherwing will automatically launch a finisher attack called Wings Sweep the Ruins. Interestingly, this finisher attack is a bounce type attack, making it effective even with a small number of enemies. Another unique aspect of Castorice is that when summoning Netherwing through her ultimate, she creates a territory that reduces all types of enemy resistance by 20%, making the damage received by enemies even greater. However, the drawback of this effect is that it's only active while the territory or Netherwing is active in battle. If we immediately activate the finisher attack called Wings Sweep the Ruins, this effect will disappear instantly. According to data I gathered from BrightWindow.gg, Castorice still performs well with a usage rate of 39.59% in MOC, 42.8% in Pure Fiction, and 49.62% in Apocalyptic Shadow. Naturally, with this data, Castorice remains the top choice for many players to complete all 3 endgame content. So, is Castorice still worth taking in the upcoming version? The answer is definitely very worth it, and I personally give it an 8.5 out of 10, especially if you plan to get Evernight as well in version 3.6. Overall, Castorice is still a top tier DPS among players, even for free-to-play players, because we can still use characters that are relatively easy to obtain, such as Gallagher, Runmei, and RMC. The performance provided by Castorice itself is still quite satisfactory and considered strong compared to DPS like Finan, who is also a top tier DPS in the current meta. A little about her signature Lancon, Make Farewells More Beautiful. This Lancon is a perfect match for Castorice as it can increase maximum HP, advance action, and cause the user to ignore enemy defense. The advanced action from this landcon will be very useful for Castorice to get her action faster, as this character has quite low speed. Based on the calculations available, you will get a 30% damage increase when using this landcon compared to other landcons. This makes this landcon very attractive to obtain. Next, we will move on to Danheng, a character with the physical type and preservation path, who can provide shields and make one teammate a bondmate. The benefits of being a bondmate include gaining a summon called the Soul Dragon, which is advantageous for effects like Sunday Skill, which provides a 50% damage boost if the target partner has a summon or Memo Sprite. Another unique aspect of Danheng PT is that his summon, the Soul Dragon, will provide a shield every single turn, with a very fast speed of 165 points. In addition to providing a shield, if the Soul Dragon has a charge from the ultimate of Danheng PT, the Soul Dragon will launch a follow-up attack and deal damage according to the type of its bondmate. What's even more unique is that the damage dealt through this follow-up attack depends on the attack stat of the bondmate. So this damage will be even greater if that teammate has scaling for the attack stat and also has high attack. Oh yeah, since Danheng PT can now provide a shield through Soul Dragon, it makes Danheng PT a skill point generator for teammates who need a lot of skill points, such as Archer and DOT characters. So, is Danheng PT worth pulling for in the upcoming version 3.6? Well, according to widespread rumors, Danheng PT will be given to all players for free in version 3.6, so we won't actually need to get it through Gacha again. However, if you still want to pull this character to upgrade his Eidolon, I will give it a score of 7 out of 10, because although his Eidolon's effects are quite good, it doesn't provide a powerful impact unless used in specific teams. For example, Eidolon's one effect is called Shed Scales of Old. This Eidolon will provide an additional 1 skill point each time he casts his ultimate, and will increase the all-type resistance penetration of all allies with the bondmate by 15% for 3 turns. Well, this effect will be very good for increasing the damage of your DPS, as well as providing skill points that will be very useful for teammates like Archer or even Vinan, who really need a lot of skill points. A brief overview of his signature landcon, named Though Worlds Apart. This landcon will provide an attack and shield boost to the user. Then it has a healing effect on all team members whenever the user casts their ultimate. The recovery provided depends on the user's attack, so this effect can only be utilized by Danheng PT, as he is the only preservation character who scales with attack. Additionally, this landcon will also grant Redoubt to all team members, increasing their damage by 24%. If the teammate has a summon, they will receive a total of 36% increased damage. Honestly, the effect of this landcon is truly very interesting and very much worth getting. So personally, I recommend getting this landcon instead of his Eidolon. What do you think? Lastly, the final character we will discuss is Anaxa. Anaxa himself has a wind type with an erudition path that has a unique feature. He can inflict implant weakness types on enemies, up to 7 different weakness types. Additionally, his skill can be triggered up to 2 times if the enemy has a debuff called Qualitative Disclosure, which activates if the enemy has at least 5 weakness types. Plus, Anaxa will deal 30% more damage to enemies with that debuff. Creating his damage output is not something to be underestimated. Although he is a capable DPS character, Anaxa has a very flexible role within the team. This can be achieved thanks to his trace called Imperative Hiatus. If used alongside other erudition in the team, Anaxa will provide a 50% damage increase buff to teammates. On the other hand, if Anaxa is used as a hyper carry without bringing any other erudition beside himself, he will increase his critical damage by 140%. Certainly with this trace, Anaxa becomes a very flexible and interesting character to use. According to data I gathered from PrideWindow.gg, Anaxa has a usage rate of 20.8% in MOC, 17.85% in Pure Fiction, and 23% in Apocalyptic Shadow. Although this number is not as high as Castorice, It's important to know that upon its initial release, Anaxa was still considered a less interesting character due to his relatively low damage multiplier, whether for his skill or his ultimate, which resulted in his being used only as a sub DPS for the Herta. But as time went on, Anaxa itself became more commonly used as a hyper carry DPS because he has a free 140% critical damage increase, which makes his damage output even greater. Oh yeah, he also performs very well when used in Apocalyptic Shadow or MOC because he has a bounce type skill that will be very deadly when used against enemies numbering less than 3. So, is Anaxa worth getting in the upcoming version 3.6? The answer is very worth it. And personally, I would give it a score of 8 out of 10. As I discussed earlier, Anaxa is a flexible character who deals deadly damage when used as a hyper carry. His main strength is his flexibility, which allows him to be used with any content and against any enemy weakness, making him a very suitable character for new players to complete various existing content. A brief overview of the signature light cone called Life Should Be Cast to Flames. All the effects of this light cone will make Anaxa a very strong main DPS, especially if you want to use Anaxa as a hyper carry DPS in your team. I highly recommend you get this light cone because it provides a massive energy boost, allowing Anaxa to trigger his ultimate every 2 turns. Although as we know, Anaxa already has a 4-star light cone alternative called the Great Cosmic Enterprise, but his signature light cone still offers significantly higher damage output. Okay guys, that's probably all for this video. What do you think? Please leave any comments down below and don't forget to check out my other videos because they are just as cool. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.